How effective is China's military? You're going to see a couple clips rotate through on the screen. These are from a New York Times article discussing how China is trying to establish more overseas military bases. This is very obviously effort put in by China to increase its ability to power project, which is one of the primary ways that you could gauge a nation's military strength. Power projection is something that the U.S. military is incredibly effective at. And overseas military bases are an easy way to lighten the logistical burden of power projection. It is primarily a logistical problem. However, power projection encompasses more than just logistics. China has some primary strengths and weaknesses to its military. China's military is massive, 2.8 million personnel, or that's the estimated amount. It's also spent a lot of money advancing its Air Force and naval technology. Current estimates put the Chinese Air Force at approximately 2,000 combat aircraft, and they've also developed the J-20, which China believes will compete with the United States F-22. China also has arguably the largest navy, if you look at just the number of ships and not tonnage. Now for China's weaknesses. Severely hindered by a lack of effective command and control and aerial refueling capability. In addition to that, its inability to conduct joint operations between its different branches of service, and a lack of training across all its militaries on their new technology severely hinders them. Aerial refueling is literally the ability of a military to refuel aircraft without them having to land. China has made significant strides in this capability, but they're nowhere near effective at it yet. Command and control is the ability of military leaders to direct ground forces in operations. China's military doctrine keeps decision-making at the highest level, which makes things significantly less efficient for ground forces in combat. In the U.S. military, doctrine encourages decision-making to be pushed to the lowest level, right? The guys that are actually fighting on the ground, they're encouraged to make decisions and adjust based on what is currently happening in the fight. Ability to conduct joint operations, which is literally operations between different branches of service, the Army working with the Navy working with the Air Force, and everybody else working. That stems from an attempt to coup-proof the Chinese military, right? They didn't want the military to become too strong and be able to overthrow the government. The ability to conduct joint operations is one of the most important aspects of power projection. Finally, China does have a massive military, but much of it is untrained. And if you've been watching what's going on in Ukraine, you've already seen the result of having a ton of people who are untrained, even if they have the best technology.